this computer. And like I was saying, so the next place where this potential client could be is, well, I've been a wedding planner for 10 years and like, I can't take any more clients. I'm busy. And then you say, well, this is how you build a team. This is how you create SOPs. This is how you create, you train your team in the way you do things. This is how you create wholesale accounts, like, because you have so many weddings. Like, again, I'm, just making stuff up at this point because now I'm too far deep into a business I don't fully know, but you do, right? I see you writing down, like you do. You're like, oh yeah, oh yeah. So when we're looking at our target audience, who is our ideal client, you see how in 3 minutes, I just built a whole training program for Cookie, and like you could probably charge anywhere from like $5,000 to $8,000 for the service.
For
the intermediate, yeah.
Right? Like, why not?
Oh, so social is a beast on its own. That's even.
Yeah. Yeah. And like, let's say that you're like, oh, Ari, like, this is the part where I'm not so good at, right? Like, I don't know how to leverage social media. I wouldn't be able to train people on this. Well, this is where you make alliances and you say, hey, Ari, you're really good at social media. Do you want to come do a session for my group? And then boom, you've now solved the problem that you don't have to solve. Like, I do this for my client, Sandra. Every time she's got a like book cohort that she does, I go in and I do a training of how to maximize their book as a marketing tool. And so I go in, I do a 3-hour workshop, she pays me, we good, right? So you don't have to do everything alone. That's the beauty of it. Yeah, you start creating strategic partnerships, and that really helps to also scale. Like in my program, the girl that works with me, she comes in and she trains people on Facebook ads. So she does coaching twice a month on Facebook ads. So for people who are ready to, grow their audience through paid traffic, which is a whole beast on its own. And I know, but I'm not an expert. I bring her in and she is the expert. So, if we're talking about like lead generation via paid ads, she'll coach you through it. If we're talking about like a webinar or something, she'll coach you through it. So it solves a need in my course that I can't fill. Okay, so thank you for that. I loved.
Thank you. No, that was really helpful. You've been clarifying a lot for me since yesterday, so I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm so glad you're here. All right, who else? I would love to get hands raised, and then that way I could, like, you see, hot seats. And there's a couple of new faces. Hi, Angela. Nice to see you here. It's been so long. What are you working on right now? I'm just going to ask you to share. Oh, you're muted. You're muted. Oh, you're still muted. Do you need me to help you?
Oh,
there you
hi.
go.
I'm sorry. I had like 3 different screens. I'm not used to being on my phone, but it won't sync to my computer. Technology.
Yeah.
Hi. So I'm actually working on a masterclass currently.
Tell me about it. Tell us about it.
So it is called The Comeback, and the comeback is because ultimately all of us face our struggles at some point or another, or we might be stuck. Also why I'm here, right? To gain your knowledge, to see where to pick up those gems and those seeds that I might be missing, because I can always learn. So with that, the comeback brings you back from loss of health, loss of a job, loss of a loved one, divorce, all of these things that we go through in life. And really when we're able to access our own inner wisdom and then have that support from someone who has the knowledge, the skill, and the ability to create questions that help you come up with the answers. So this course is content that will guide you through module. There's about 10 of them.
Okay.
And I have a workbook that goes with it. And so and then there's weekly meetups while you go through these modules. And so depending on where you're at in the module, that's the meetup that you'll end up seeing me. We'll pop in, and it's just a beautiful way to network and again, watch people flourish and grow into their best selves.
And what's your price point for this?
125.
125.
Actually it's less. So because this is my first rollout and launch, it's $44, and it's 44 because we just want to bring that awareness. And again, it's the first time that I'm launching anything like this. So, and it's not necessarily about the money. It's about like once somebody has, at $50, most people can hit that price point. And so if they find the value in it, they can refer a friend. And again, this is about the energetic ability to help somebody help themselves.
Yeah. So is the masterclass $44 or the program you're selling $44?
Well, it's $44 for what's currently being put together. I have people helping me do this. So again, the same way you said, bring people in. My joy is in the hypnotherapy, is in the sound baths, is in the Reiki, and is in teaching. And my big projection is to get out into larger arenas and audiences with other women, to be a keynote speaker, to be able to again empower women.
Okay, so again, just clarify for me. The masterclass, is the masterclass free and then you're going to sell people into the $44, or the masterclass is $44 and then you're going to sell them into this 10 module program?
No, the 10 module program, it's all it's $44. Again, I'm still working on getting my brand, my name out there. So it's the value, and I give the value to support what I am building for myself, because I am what is selling.
Yeah. Is it okay that I share some like things that are coming for me?
Please. And please let me know what I can do if you see where, again, I might be like because I hear you like, okay, you have the masterclass and then what are you giving away? Or so.
Okay. So the first thing that comes up for me is that how many weekly classes? Is it 10 weeks of like meetups? For $44, you might see people not showing up.
Okay.
It's too cheap.
Okay.
Right? Like I was ready for the masterclass to be $44 and for you to be like, oh, and then the program is like 500.
Okay.
You're over delivering in a good way, but you're undercharging. So there's a disconnect. I have to turn off my ring light, guys. I'm like sweating like so much. Hold on. And it was like blinding me. Okay. You see what I mean? Do you guys kind of agree with me maybe? Like it's a lot for very little money. And I know it's not about the money, but it should also be about the money. And I'll tell you more on an energetics.
I'm so with you. I'm listening to other people who I think are again new to this. So we're all finding our way. So me being on here and hearing you, thank you so much.
Yes. And this is also a thing that when I say we, it's because I've been on it, but I don't want to project on you guys. Like, it's like, oh, this is the first time I'm doing it, so it has to be cheaper. So do you think the second time you do it, it's going to be different? Like, are you going to show up less? Are you going to give less? Like, there's no, right? You might want to do what's called like a beta test. Like, hey, this is the first time I'm launching something and I'm going to give you guys a discount. But to me, $44 for all that you're giving, it feels like you're just like, it's like an energy drain versus like a energy rich.
Flow.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. I'm like, where'd you go? So I don't know who's helping you, and they might have their own strategy, and also consider like, are you selling this masterclass, this bundle? Let's call it a bundle, okay? You're selling this bundle to your existing audience, or like, are you going to be running ads, which then that
Yeah.
costs a lot of money? You see what I mean? So I don't want to like, I love the offer and I would separate them.
Okay.
The way so I'll show you, the way that I teach my clients is one, if you're going to do the masterclass or the webinar, do it for free. Let that be your save up, right? Like, here's my active service, like how I've been for the last couple of days. This is free because I want to like just support you in a way that feels just, for me, very energy rich. But if you want to really work with me, you're going to have to almost like pay to play, right? Because when people pay, they pay attention.
Mhm.
It's like saying, like, I'm going to give you, all this for all this. People don't see the value in it because you kind of like undercharged. So I rather you do the masterclass for free and
Okay.
then sell, even if it's $300 for the 10 weeks, it's
Okay.
$30 a week.
Okay.
Because you're giving your time in terms of like the weekly meetups and you're creating online modules. Like, that's a lot. Like, can I tell you that I've paid like $2,000 for programs that are 10 modules long? And without like feeling bad about it. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to learn so much. It's going to help me so much. Boom, here, take my money. No problem. Like, I believe in you.
Yeah.
But the presentation of that masterclass has to kick ass.
Yes. And so I have people for that.
Okay.
And so again, they're great at it. Someone is actually doing my Instagram now. It feels good because I've been running the ship for over 4 years on my own, and I'm burnt. I'm dead in the water. So so I brought some people on board, and they see me, and they have the vision for me that I've always had for myself. And it's beautiful to have, again, someone else to be able to turn to, this to say, like, come on, I've got you, keep going, just keep going. Like, you've already got all the content, you've already done all the work, just go now, just go. So
Yeah.
they're presenting me in that beautiful light. And obviously, it's kind of like one shot. Your reputation is everything. So
Yeah.
you've got to give it with, again, all that you've got. The same way you said, are you going to give it any differently the second time? And you're not. So every time it's you're on.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
absolutely.
now, and the money does feel good because, again, it helps me live, and I like to live.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe have a conversation with them, and see, hey, like, what if, we did it like this, or leave it as this and test it out and see how you feel. And then come talk to me.
Okay, I will. What can I ask you, where you would suggest running those ads for, like, self-help, self-improvement, self-empowerment?
Where to run the ads?
Yeah.
I mean,
Facebook, Instagram.
yeah. And then
Is one better than the other?
No, they're
No.
same. We run them on both platforms. Like, I have an audience on both platforms, so I'm really like, they do well on both. And like, for example, when you're running ads, you can say, target my ad to all my followers on my Instagram. Target my ad to all my new followers in the last 6 months. Target, and then, the strategy that we'd like to share is one of your ad sets. So I don't want to get too much into ads here, but like, when you're creating your ads inside your Meta account, you do your campaign. That's your, like, let's say it's like the box that everything goes in, right? Campaign level. Then your ad set level is where you do budget and where you do what's it called? Audience. So we're gonna run ads to just a very broad audience and let Facebook, like, with all its AI and spy tools, and show the ad to the right person. And then we're gonna tell Facebook, like, hey, show this to the people that are already like on my email list, the people that are already on my like Facebook business page, and to my Instagram followers. You see what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's how we do it. And then that way we are bringing in a new audience. Because like at some point you have to show yourself to new people, you know,
Right.
like how you came to the expo, you know, in January, like a bunch of new people met you. So
Yeah.
it's the same concept. Like, are you coming back next year, by the way?
I'd love to, and I'd love to speak. I'd love to speak on sound as well, because there's so much new information about how sound really does. The frequencies and vibrations allow for the body and the mind to respond in new ways.
Fill me in an application, please. We'd love to have you.
Thank you so much. I'd love to be there.
Yeah. Okay. So I hope this was helpful. Like you guys saw, right? Do you resonate? Do you agree? Yes, yes. She should be charging more. Yes, yes. Go charge more, Angela. Do it. You're worth it.
Thank you. Thanks, ladies.
All right. Who's next? Raise your hand. So we have Ava also. Sharon.
Hello, can you hear me well?
Mhm.
Okay, so as I've talked to you, I'm kind of at a crossroads here right now as far as where I'm going, what I'm doing. I have the studio, which we're looking at moving into the fitness center. I have the massage roller business, and now I have a massage therapy license along with my day job, which is mental health, which I can incorporate in something. So I'm going to a local event this weekend, and it's really just a like a market, like a farmer's market type thing. But the reason why I was going is because I'm literally right across the street from the farmer's market, in where my physical location is. Am I beating a dead horse here with trying to get people in with it, or shall I focus on maybe getting people more into like a program, like you were saying, and how do I do that? Like I have lots of stuff that I could hand out. Where we're at is it's all about, they want a physical card, a handout, you know, whatnot. I don't do well with gathering emails, but if I have something to offer them as far as win a something, maybe that would be helpful. So just give me any ideas that might be helpful for this for me.
So you don't do well gathering emails. Is that like a mindset statement? Or
No, it's just it's me forgetting to do it. Like, and I want a better strategy of getting those emails besides sign up for your email. You know, I need to entice them a little more.
Okay, are you ready? Write this down.
Yes.
One.
I am.
Again, since you are the ninja of all things health and wellness, you want to give people a like some sort of like fitness health assessment, a lifestyle audit, something like this. Put your email down and
Okay.
Get a complimentary, fitness and lifestyle audit, which is basically your
Okay.
sales call, right?
What did you say?
Your
It's
sales
what?
call. Like it turns into an
Okay.
opportunity to be
Yeah.
like, well, you're eating like this and you're working out like this. Like you're saying, like, you're at a 5 and here you're at a 7 and like you want to be a 10. Well, this is what this is how I can help you get from 5 to 10.
Okay.
Like those types of, like when you quantify people, right? Like for example, I remember I went to an event once and they handed out like don't mind my scribble pad. My daughter attacked my pad, right? They handed out a questionnaire and it had, happiness. It had like a bunch of lines of, lifestyle, and they said, just circle on a 1 to 10 continuum. Where are you at? It was like a quiz.
Okay.
So you were like,
Yeah.
I'm a 3, I'm a 5, I'm a 2. And then it made you realize like, oh, I'm a 5. Shit. And then, they said, well, if you're wanting to get to a 10, then this is the scenario. But like it gave people that aha moment.
Okay.
Because you're the expert, right? So like when you go to the doctor and the doctor said, and you're saying like, doctor, I have a headache, I'm not sleeping well. I'm getting this like crazy indigestion. What does he do? He grabs, or I say he, but you guys know what I mean, right? The doctor grabs its pad, her pad. Let's call the doctor a girl. Grabs her pad and says, "You're going to take this pill." And what do? You take the pill. You don't question the doctor and you say, "Are you sure this is the right pill, doc?" And Miriam's like, "There's no fucking
Right.
sorry." She's like, but you know what I mean, right? Like, even if it's a holistic doctor and she says like, these are the supplements you need to take. Like the other day, even when I was with Miriam, she's like, "Blue Lotus, go make this tea." I was like, "Yes, Miriam." I didn't question her because I know she's the expert.
Did you try it?
Yeah, it was amazing. Now I'm like, I want more. Hopefully you show me the way. Okay. So that's what I'm saying. Like, be the doctor so that you prescribe the remedy. The remedy just happens to be your programs.
Okay.
And kind of what I talked about in the session before this. Well, what does your program look like? Have two offers. One that includes classes at the racket club / or your studio, wherever you're doing, because you're like, you need to be coming to this stuff. Like, you need to be doing aerial. Like, you need to connect to your core. That's going to, address your back pain. And like, we need to fix your diet. Like, no more beers and burgers, at 7 o'clock on a Friday. Every day, whatever. Right? Like, hey, like, we're going to figure out, like, you're going to stop putting the bun on your burger. And instead of having 3 beers, you're going to have 1 beer. And we're going to do that for a week. Or like, stop drinking Coke. Let's try that.
Right.
You're going to go to the fizzy, whatever, the other fizzy drink, because apparently, people need fizzy. So you see what I mean? Like, you become the doctor and you prescribe them what they need. And you say, and in 3 months working together, you will have lost the, 15 pounds that you're needing. Like, you're gonna be able to squat because I know you want to play with your grandkids. And like, you're like, my back hurts, whatever it is that they want. And, this is part of the sales. Like, I train people on sales. Like, I've been able to, enroll people into close to $1 million worth of programs in the last 7 years by knowing how to sell.
Right.
So if you don't know how to sell, what you end up doing is leaving money on the table, and you are going to probably undercharge, because we love to do that. Like, who here loves to undercharge? I do it all the time. And not only that, but like, you're making people lose out on being the healthiest aspect of themselves. Especially, you live in a town, you told me, like, people are not the healthiest there. So
Right.
what you also don't want to do is kind of what I was talking about on day 1 is this, right? People are, let's say this is that the woman, let's call her like, that middle-aged woman. Okay. This is the same woman. And here, right, she is on her, like, beer, burgers, fries, processed food. I don't know how to spell process, TV, sedentary. You see what I mean, right? Sedentary, whatever. Sorry, I was a spelling bee champion. At some point in my life, I get obsessed. Then you have this, which is the, same woman, but she at least, like, she's like walking, 3 times a week. She, stop drinking soda, so no soda. And she limits her carbs. She's aware, like, her doctor might have said, hey, you're on the way to like diabetes central. Then you have this, she's now like walking, she's doing some weightlifting, no more, she's totally like cut out sugars. She's meditating. You see what I mean? Same person,
Mhm.
but she's evolving. So if you are selling basically this lifestyle, which you guys can see where I'm going, right? I'm not going to waste my time, right? You see where I'm going. Like, you're selling this. This is an optimal healthy lifestyle, that, you know, bye processed foods, like she's shopping in the vegetable aisle, you know, in the fresh food aisle, like no more TV, microwave, blah, 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 blah. But you're talking to these people and trying to sell them this, they don't want this. So you're going to be talking to deaf. Anything you say, any life assessment that you could give, like, they don't care. They're not on that awareness journey. So most likely your ideal client is somewhere in between, is like on this journey. Like she's in this, like she's trying to be like, how do I get rid of those like crappy habits? How do I stop drinking? Everybody says stop drinking soda. I don't know how to do it. Like, I really love it. I need it 3 times a day. I can't work out because like I'm not strong. I like, this to me is like my mother-in-law, right? Like she is like, she knows that she has to do things, but like she wouldn't be your ideal client because she's not going to do it. So you need them to be like already on that, like, hey, I want to, and I just don't know how. Like, I'm scared of the gym. Like, oh my God, those hammocks. She wants me to do what? So like you could maybe entice people that are kind of like curious and ready to take that change, and be like, you know, we're doing aerial yoga for rest. And like no inversions, right? You could say like, you no going upside down, like no strength, no this, right? Like, and then it's like you ease them in, but then you hook them, because you know with aerial, like once you do it, you're like, unless you got dizzy and you wanted to puke, you're coming back.
Right.
Yeah, let's see, share it. Yes, it's the Walmart versus Whole Foods. Exactly. So does that help you? Like, so I would get everybody to sign up for like a lifestyle type assessment, like word it in words that they're using, not words that we use. This is like,
Right.
we talk over people.
Right.
In my industry, they call it like techno babble. Imagine I was like,
Right.
we're gonna build your SLO funnel, and then we're gonna do that. You're gonna be like, what? I don't want to do that. That's scary.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm gonna help you grow your email list. You'd be like, oh, okay, cool, Ari. Like, you don't need to know how. No one needs to know you're gonna do it. That's your magic. All they need to really know is that they're gonna get what they want. Like, and I remember what marketing teacher told me. They're like, no one cares about you. Sorry. They care about what's in it for them.
Right.
But I know you guys really like me, and that's why you're here. No, I'm just kidding, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh my God, let me get Ari to help me. That's why you're here. It's not about me. It's about you.
Mm-hmm.
Did that help?
Any idea for, yes, but any idea for keywords for them?
You've talked to enough people in your neighborhood, in your area, to know the words that they're not using. So I'm going to talk over you right now.
Right.
I don't know
Okay.
your. Yeah. Like, do they want a lifestyle change? Maybe not. But do they want easy ways to lose weight? Maybe yes. Or, you know, easy fitness routines. Like I have a client who's focusing only on women in their midlives.
Mm-hmm.
Midlife yogi. And so she's going to be doing retreats for women in their midlives, right? And I'm helping her create her signature offer, which is, you know, ideally she can do virtual retreat, upgrading their health. I don't know, Miriam. So Sharon lives in a very little town in Pennsylvania where people just are not in touch. There's going to be some, because there's, you know, like there's going to be some. You need to find those people. And if not, you just need to dumb down your program and don't oversell transformation that they won't reach. Yes,
Right.
hospital. Yes, I think I had told her something like that. Like, you know,
Yeah.
cut diabetes at a
Right.
But also, like, here's the thing, guys. Like, does she want to work with people that are like super unhealthy and aren't invested? No, you don't. So it also has to fit with what you want and the type of people you want to be around. Like, you know, all my clients, they're awesome, because that's, you know, like Trixie was a client, like she's awesome. You know what I mean? Like I attract people who I want to work with, not who I'm like, I have to save their lives.
Right,
Somebody's life.
right.
Like, I'm not like saying like, is your business going broke? Let me help you. Like, no, thank you.
Mhm.
So it's really about the messaging that you use that's really going to be landing in the ears of the right people.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Great question. Who else, guys?
Me,
Yes,
because I'm not gonna do social media.
I know. Remember, did you see what I put in the WhatsApp group?
Um,
I think for you, having a WhatsApp community,
but that's also metaverse. I don't want to be part of metaverse.
or Telegram, you know what I mean? Like,
Sure.
Parler, I don't care. Like, pick one that is tied to Meta. But that might be something really interesting. Like my friend Jonathan, he works in the AI space. And he just started a WhatsApp group, and he's just been growing this WhatsApp group. And he did this with Telegram also. And today he's like, hey guys, we're gonna have our webinar this Thursday. And here's the info. Here's
So is everyone in his group a contact of his already? Or are people just popping into the group randomly?
popping into the group randomly through
By the name.
a lot
By
of
the-
speaking. He goes to a lot of networking. He is active on social media. Again, if you can, or maybe find a social media, like Russell Brand is in that other platform. What's it called?
Rumble. He's on a bunch of different ones. Yeah, all the uncensored platforms.
Yeah, so that might be something
Well,
for
I'm on Substack. I'm on Substack, which is uncensored, or we think it is.
yeah. So I would start a group like that, and then that way you can drop value in the group. And actually, like, Telegram is not a bad one, because what I really like about it is that, let's say that you put like information in the description. Like, if you guys see our WhatsApp group that we have right now, like in the description, I'm like, grab your workbook, grab this, what's that? And if, let's say, Sherry, right, like came into the group today, she won't see everything that I've posted before, but in Telegram you do. So I think
Right.
that might,
I have Telegram. I'm in tons of groups on Telegram.
yeah. Okay, so sorry. Now ask me.
Now ask you what?
I don't know. You raised your hand, and then I like.
Oh, no. Like how I'm going to make this business of mine, the new one, explode without using social media. But I know social media is your niche to a degree.
Yes and no. Like, live events are my niche too. That's why I like to tell people, like, yeah,
But how do you get the people to sign up for the live events? Social media, right?
yes, and my email list
Mhm.
that I've been growing, and there's like for example, like advertising on YouTube. That's
Well, I'm advertising on the bulletin.io. I don't want to be on YouTube either. YouTube is part of
like find platforms.
Yeah.
Are you findable on Google? Like, do you have a Google business page?
I don't want to. No, I'm staying away from Google too.
Okay, so with you, because like, there's very hard no's, which is fine. And this is why, like, I love to say, like, when I work with you guys, I work with you. I'm not just gonna throw you a cookie cutter strategy to be like, you have to post on social media. Like, social media is very useful, absolutely. But if you don't want to, there's so many other options, and we just have to figure out the right strategy for you. So I would say, like, look at all these other platforms, like the Rumbles, the Substacks. Maybe there's a way that you get on stages. Like, maybe, like, if you do speaking events, lead workshops. Like, guys, when I started my business, there was no Facebook and there was no Instagram. So how did I get people to my workshops? I printed flyers and I gave them to people. Do you think that doesn't work anymore? It absolutely works. So if you just have to do more local based marketing. Also, you can do kind of what we talked about, joint venture, right? Like finding partners. So who has your audience? Do you know naturopaths? who could potentially, you know, promote you in their offices? And do you have maybe alternative doctors? Like, let's say you talk to my DO and you're like, hey, you know, you just build a relationship, and he puts your, you know, your poster up in his office. One of my friend clients, Shivani, she sells like supplements, like turmeric and stuff like that, like teas. She's been literally boots on the ground, going to every chiropractor's office from, you know, here to West Palm, shaking hands and putting rec cards and creating affiliate programs with them. And it's been working.
Yeah, I'm currently focusing on prenatal to postnatal women and pre to postnatal yoga also.
So functional medicine doctors,
Yeah.
Shivani, she's got a supplement business. So that's kind of what I would say. Like, yeah, Shivani did guerrilla marketing, supplements. Like, talk to people who are functional medicine doctors, who are DOs, who are alternative, you know, acupuncturists. Like, those are your people.
Yeah.
Because they
funnel right now. I've got we had our first meeting and we're having the second one, our first session. She is a NICU psychologist. So she works in the NICU as a psychologist, and she told me, I will send you all of my patients who can afford you, because everybody cannot. But these are all parents that are traumatized because their children are in the NICU, and and they need support.
Yeah, there you go. So was that helpful?
Yes, thank you.
Great. Sherry, you have your hand raised.
Hi, how you
And
doing?
Oh, there we go. I hear you now.
Okay. Yeah, on that note, I just relocated a few months ago and it has been excruciating painful. Google just finally verified me today. So I feel like, you know, I've been like on the pause button, struggling. So now I'm kind of coming out of the gate running, and I can update it and I can respond to my reviews. And I also have some marketing done. I just printed off some postcards front and back, and I'm ready to go hit the ground running like this lady who just did the guerrilla marketing.
Yeah.
I want to go up and down the whole neighborhood because, you know, I have Costco across the street. I have FIU across the street. I got a lot of high-end businesses as Lamborghinis, and it's in North Miami, right near you.
Great.
Girl, we need to talk. I need to target North Miami. I have a whole new audience. I've been serving Broward for 9 years, and now I'm back where my beginnings, and I don't know anybody.
Right. Right. Okay. So, thank you, Meredith. Okay, so you are gonna do guerrilla marketing. You know, there's a book that you guys, if you want to write down the name of this book, it's called The Ultimate Sales. Hold on. Sales Machine. Is this right? Yes. The Ultimate Sales Machine. Let me just triple check. Yes. Okay. So, his name's Chet Holmes. He's not alive anymore, but the stuff he teaches in this book is freaking awesome, because yes, he talks about online, but this is like, he was a part of Tony Robbins's team like 30 years ago, where none of this stuff existed. So he gives you really, really actionable ways to, you can do you know, mailers to people's homes. You just have to be really targeted. Like he gives a strategy in there about like a case study about a realtor who, you know, just did mailers. And those are really cheap to send out. You just have to be like, this is my target audience. And you can do that with mailers. So there's companies out there that does that.
You look at mailers?
Yeah. So I would look at this book, The Ultimate Sales Machine. And I learned a lot from reading that book. Because I don't know if like going up and down the neighborhood and like putting. Where are you in North Miami?
I'm located inside of ADAP, the gym, the fitness facility
Which one?
on 20th and 151st Street.
Okay, so you're a little bit more north. That's why I was like, where are you? Okay, so yeah, like just I would look into that strategy, and then also the like Google Ads. Because
Yeah.
like my client Patty, like she gets client from Google like all the time. Like we've hooked up her like Google page now that you have yours. That's local clients. That might be a really great strategy for you. And you don't have to spend a lot. You could, $10 a day, but at least if people are searching for Reiki, energy, North Miami, then you can come up. Because there's two types of marketing, guys. There's outbound marketing, which is when we're running ads, pushing stuff on people. And then there's inbound marketing. And that's when people are searching us. And we want to be searchable. We want to be found.
Do you suggest using these like registering for the Alexa or the search engines online where it's voice searches?
I will tell you, I know nothing about that.
Really?
Yeah, Miriam, she uses the bulletin IO and it gets you on bulletin boards, like digital bulletin boards in people's homes, right? Not home, like buildings, for service based. I think thank you for sharing that.
What is that? That sounds good. A bulletin may help anyone in the group. It's not expensive. The bulletin.
The bulletin IO.
So there's no one here in the group that uses voice search engines and pays for it? Huh.
I don't have an Alexa. Like I don't have any of that in my house. We're like anti that. So
I mean,
yeah, I'm more of like, again, I do a lot of marketing strategic stuff, and like I don't think that conversation has ever come up of like spending money on voice searches. Again, that's me. I don't know everything.
And do you I'm also want to communicate with FIU since it's right across the street.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to figure out the best way to to work with them, and someone says communicate with the registrar office.
Yes, I would say the registrant office, or I would say heads of departments, and a lot of those people might also be on LinkedIn.
LinkedIn?
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah, like think of like if you're trying to go corporate, again, this is not something that I do because those aren't my avatars. Like my avatars are more like service professionals. So, but I've done LinkedIn trainings before. So let's say that you go to you find the business, right? Like let's say it's FIU.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's
Right.
great.
On FIU, then you look for them or you look for the organization on LinkedIn, then you find the person who is affiliated to that organization, connect with them on LinkedIn. You can send a message, that kind of stuff. And LinkedIn might be a really interesting place for a lot of people to be on if those are your ideal clients. Like Cookie, for you, LinkedIn, wedding planners galore on there. Yeah, it's people that are business people. Like nobody wants to be on LinkedIn to like do the social media scroll. Like they want to be on LinkedIn because they want to connect with other business owners or corporations.
I'm looking.
Okay.
Okay, so you'll take me down the rabbit hole on that. That's a brilliant idea. Using LinkedIn to contact the department heads. That's great.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, let me, since we only have a few more minutes, let me make sure I can support maybe Avis or maybe Eva.
Thank you. Great talking to you again.
Nice to see you. I gave you the link for the VIP, okay? In the chat. Avis, I know we're talking November 8th, but give me a heads up. What are you working on right now? Okay, maybe you can't be on camera. How about you, Eva? I would love to learn about you. I think you do sound.
That's part of what I do. Yeah.
Tell me more.
I'm a yoga therapist and sound healing therapist. And I was a voice teacher, classical musician for a really long time, and then evolved. So I do a lot with that. But I've been working for a yoga school as a trainer and working with private clients. But, you know, would be much better for me to be on my own than in calling my own shots than doing all of that. And I mean, I have a master's in marketing communications from ages ago.
Yep.
Where do I want to spend my energy? And that was way before all this social media stuff. Right?
I know.
And
Same
I'm
thing
an
here.
avid avoider of social media. I do not mess with it, but I've started to recently because I've been given that encouragement from people. So, you know, I just want to do what I do. I don't want to have to figure out how to find, you know, the people that want or need what I have to offer them, right? So I want it to be easier. And I guess my own resistance around it is I've just said, okay, maybe I'm got my plate full with some contracts I already have that I need to honor.
Mm-hmm.
But I also, rather than taking those again, I need to figure out what is a better next step for me, rather than just going with what's safe, right? Even though it's not safe, it's, you know, it's playing small. And anyway, does that tell you what you need to know? I mean,
Yeah. So here's the fun part. We all just want to work with our clients.
Yeah.
All of us. All of us. I mean, I'm like a weirdo because I actually like marketing. No, but like, honestly, like if I didn't have to like do the reel or do the thing or do the that, like I'd be a happy camper. Right. But that's not the, unfortunately, or fortunately, because it pushes our creative boundaries. Like, so this is what I would say. One is look at the budget you have for support. Because one of the things that I do with my clients is immediately I get them to find like a team. We build a team. Even if it's a team of one, it's better than no team. Right? So it's like, who can be that, like I'm usually their first level of support. So people, when they work with me, we do strategy. We do like big strategy. We focus on like, here are your like actions, here are the things that, you know, the offers that we're creating. And then you say, but Ari, I hate social media. I'm like, let's find a social media person. And, you know, we outsource. And so we say that, you know, can you not eat sushi twice a month? Yes, great. So that $60 or, you know, $8 we're going to use for a support system. Because I've been working with outsourcing for almost a decade. And honestly, like there's people that are like super supportive and it works, right? So we just need to figure out what the 3 columns. I love these are the things that I love to do, and I will do them all day long, very happily. These are the things that I tolerate. And these are the things that I hate. So I always share this example. I hate bookkeeping. I can say that with pride. Who was the first person I hired? A bookkeeper. Because I know that she's going to run my report. She's going to do my payroll. I'm not going to be late to the, you know, to the IRS, like all is well and dandy. So that was the first thing I did. My first hire. I was like, I can spend $150 a month on a bookkeeper. Then the second person that I hired was somebody to help me with my email marketing. Why? Because not that I hated it. It was in my tolerate. I love writing emails. I'm not, like the time space continuum for me, like I forget that it's Tuesday, for example, right? I'm like, oh my God, it's Tuesday and my newsletter was supposed to go out yesterday. So I saw that as a bottleneck. And so when we identify what are bottlenecks that are not getting you to your next, check mark, to your next space, then we say, aha, that bottleneck needs to be solved. How do we solve that? If I'm unwilling to create, my calendar and say, Ari writes newsletters on Tuesday, then I need someone to help me because I know the importance of being in people's inboxes. I know that it gets me results. Like a ton of the people in this boot camp came because of my emails. We actually got like 30 extra people registered because of 2 emails that we sent. 30 people is a lot. Here because they read one of my newsletters. No? Okay, maybe none of you guys, but you did. Angela, there you go. Perfect. So see, Cookie, you too? No, an ad. No, she's like, have no idea. Yeah.
I'm from an email.
See?
Yeah.
So I know the importance of that. So we need to figure out what are our biggest levers also in where our business is moving. Is it social media? Well, if like you're super, and when I say inconsistent, like I'll call like bullshit on consistency. Like if you don't have a strategy, that's right. Like it's like, oh, I'm just going to post. Just posting doesn't do anything. We need to create psychology around posting so that when we create that psychology, then we see levers moving. But if like you're doing that consistently and it's like the other day, my client was like, it took me 2 hours to make a reel. And I was like, well, stop making reels. I told her, I was like, stop, like, this is not effective. Like, I need you to focus on, like, she does multi-level marketing. So I was like, I'd rather you like text people, no more reels. Until you get to the point where you're like, I'm gonna like overcome perfection and, done is better than perfect. So
I'm laughing because I took several hours on Friday to come up with a 90-second one for something for the yoga school. I'm like, because I just couldn't. Yeah, so I get it. And perfectionism as a, this is my spiritual path right now for growth, letting go of, and part of that's from the classical music world, but learning to let go of that is huge. And then also learning to let go of, okay, exactly like you said, where are my bottlenecks? And instead of beating the crap out of myself, because I should be able to figure this out, but I don't, just no.
Yeah. And that's where we built, excuse me, thank you. This is also where we build a business from a place of strengths and joy versus of like, friction.
Yeah, totally agree. That's how we work with our clients, right? And then here I am trying to, help clients find this, and I'm coming up against a wall within my own practice. Yeah.
Great. Cookie, I think you have your hand raised. I don't know if you want to chime in.
No, I have a question.
Yeah.
When you said you told your client to text, you mean like sending cold messages via text?
So in her scenario, because she's in multi-level marketing, so see, I always look at income generating activity as like the biggest lever. And she was like, Adi, I've gotten so many phone numbers of people, but I haven't followed up with them.
Okay.
Right. So if she's like boots on ground, because she's like, she's like, I talk to everybody. It's like, Miriam, like you're such a connector, right? So that's her superpower. And she's like, I talk to everybody, I get everybody's phone number. I'm like, great. And she's like, but I'm not following up with anyone. I was like, not great. So I look, when again, I am like in diagnostic mode, I say, so you're not following up with people. Why? Time management, right? So it's almost like functional medicine where like we're looking at the root of things. So hers was time management and perfectionism. She's like, I need to have this and this and this before I can do that. And I go, so, right, like her business is not at a level where she can have the luxury of not doing the annoying things. And the annoying things is texting people. She's like, I need to build an automation for this. And I'm like, no, you need to text people and call them, because you know that that is going to be the biggest lever. Waiting for an automation that might end up in spam, or that people are going to see like this, you know, stop to unsubscribe. Like, that's not going to be the biggest lever.
Right, but she already made the initial contact anyway, so she already has the information. So you don't need it. Got it.
Right.
Yeah, because I was told once to send cold DMs to like influencers, you know, for brides, and I didn't feel comfortable with that, so I didn't do it. I didn't follow up on it because first of all, you never see me, and then you get this cold message, and where's it gonna go? It's either not gonna get opened.
Yeah.
And I wasted time sending all these messages.
Yeah.
I didn't do that.
Right. And again, like, those strategies might work for some people. But you know what I mean? Like, for me, the minute, like, if I'm on social media, the minute I see somebody liking a lot of my posts all at once and getting that DM, I'm like this. So there's ways to connect with new audiences on social media that don't feel icky. And that's important, right?
Yeah.
It's understanding the root of the strategy, aligning with that strategy. Like, I work with what's called it's not the 4A system, it's my 4A system. I own it, right? So first, it's assessment. We need to know where you're at. This is why, like, you know, if you guys haven't booked a like business diagnostic call, like, book it. Whether we work together, you know, or not work together, like, book it. You never know. So we assess, because if you don't know where you're standing, we know nothing. The second piece of that is going to be alignment. Are you aligned to your business model, to the way you're working? Are you aligned to your strengths, to your lifestyle goals? Because if your business model, like I shared in the training, when I owned my yoga studio, like, it was like having a desk job. And that's why I quit a desk job when I worked in advertising, because I just wanted to get up and go on a trip if I wanted to and not ask permission. And with, you know, the studio, I was like front desk, I was, you know, managing. It wasn't aligned to who I was. Freedom is my number one core value, right? So then we need to create that alignment to how you're working, so that we create action items. What are those action items that you, right, or you and a team can create on a daily basis, weekly basis, to achieve our goals? But then who's holding you accountable? And that accountability piece is kind of like what I was saying earlier, that, you know, I didn't have anybody holding me accountable for my book. So it took me 1.5 years to write my book. But it's that, like, Pareto's law, that, like, if you have 20 hours to do something, it'll take you 20 hours to do it. But if you have an hour, it'll take you an hour. So that's the accountability piece that, like, trips up so many people. You're just like, oh, I'll just do that later. And it's usually the stuff that's actually important that you're not doing because you are backburning it. So Ava, I would definitely consider, like, really being aligned to what it is that you want. Like, if you want to leave this school, then what's the money that you need to generate on your own? What are your current assets that you have right now to, you know, leverage that new revenue, and what that looks like in terms of your sales and marketing?
Yeah, I mean, I just committed a pretty big chunk of money to having my own website developed, and, you know, I moved away from there over 1 year ago, but I've still been training for them and doing all of this stuff and traveling there to do that, but it doesn't make any sense. So I need to finish this last project and let that be my generator for revenue as for my own business, right? Like, to say, all right, what I make from there, it needs to go back into developing True Harmony Yoga Therapy, and and not into the yoga school.
Yeah.
But-
And I will let me not be a Debbie Downer and like leave you on that. Like a website doesn't make you clients.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I just had nowhere to send them, right? Like, and I had nowhere to send
No, that's what I'm saying. Yes,
Yeah.
good. Everyone should
students.
have a website.
Yeah, but the students that I was teaching through the school wanted to be able to find me. And without that platform, I didn't have, anyway,
Yeah.
it's there.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Okay, now that the website is up, because everyone should have a website, especially a website
Yeah.
that's content that's like SEO friendly.
Mine and not the yoga school. Yeah.
Yes. Now marketing. Now
Yeah.
marketing. That's your
Yep.
focus. Okay, cool. All right, my darlings, it's 4:15. I wanna honor my time and yours. I will see you all tomorrow, I hope. And yeah, thank you so much for the beautiful session. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.